Removed all NPCs, but I believe in Bethesda.
Back again with over 11 subscribers. It's the worst game ever with your host Kaznarious and
the PorkChopper.
Back at it again. Thank you all for tuning in once again after our delightful and my brief hiatus from our unintentional Christmas episode. You may have noticed that there is not a song at the beginning of this episode, and that is for a reason. It will be added in later. There is a reason for that. I'm not a lazy fuck who decided to leave making the song to the last minute. I hope you all fucking enjoyed Kaznarious, because she is never coming back again. Fuck that bitch, and fuck all those opinions. Holy fucking shit. PorkChopper, how the fuck is it going? What have you been playing lately?
Actually, I played some Red Dead Online the other day. It was pretty fucking good. I got dragged behind a horse until I died.
Right on.
Yeah, it was good.
The pinnacle of gaming.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, how is it?
If you want a fucking serious story that doesn't take itself too seriously, stay fucking far away from Kingdom Hearts 3, because this shit is so off the fucking rails. Like, if you have any semblance and know anything about Kingdom Hearts going into this, like, it feels like it's been dialed up to fucking 11. Everyone is full of darkness. Everyone is Xehanort. Everyone's sore. It's fucking bonkers. And in the middle you have, like, fucking Buzz, turning to the dark side. I swear that definitely doesn't happen at all in the game. I'm not spoiling it, I swear. Buzz definitely doesn't succumb to darkness in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm definitely making that shit up. But it is fucking fun as shit. What can I say? It's a really great game. Ridiculous.
I've seen a lot of people love it. People are calling it, like, the unreviewable game, basically because if you enjoy Kingdom Hearts, you're gonna get the game no matter what, and you're probably going to enjoy it. So,
like, there are a couple things that I just, like, a little bit of gripes where, you know, it's made in Japan, and thus, like, you'll hear, like, the voice actors, like, in the Toy Story level, and none of what they're saying, like, matches any of, like, their lip flaps. Like, they're clearly saying something else, and it's just because it's made by Japanese people.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a great fucking time with that game. I can't wait for whatever surprises it has for me. I had possibly one of the greatest experiences last night fighting my fucking friend for the TV remote, because I was playing it at his house, and I was playing the Frozen level, and of course they put fucking Let It Go and Do You Want to Build a Snowman, and it was just like a fucking 10-minute fucking wrestle for this remote, because I want to fucking pump that shit and scream that shit in his ear, and he's a fucking wet blanket, so he doesn't like hearing that bullshit. You gotta fucking turn it up, man. You gotta fucking hear every single cheesy fucking syllable of those shitty songs. Relive the what was it, 2013, 2012?
I don't know, I never watched it.
Relive that shit. I fucking hate Frozen, but the goal, as always, is to be as fucking annoying as possible. That should be everyone's goal in life.
That's a good point.
Speaking of being as annoying as fucking possible, thank you so much, Shanley, for streaming. That has nothing to do with being as fucking annoying as possible, but thank you so much again for streaming our shit. Kaznarious was popping off in those comments, because somebody had, you know, a great opinion, which was, Link doesn't really need to be a girl.
Oh my fucking God.
At which case, well, things just happened. So everybody, if you want the real pre-show, fucking tune into Shanley LMs. I'll be posting that shit on Twitter. Just get there. I want every single one of you motherfuckers to shit post there and say Link is a girl. That's key. That's key. Results. I feel like we need to have some kind of stakes to who the fuck wins, or I guess produces the biggest loser in this. I feel like there needs to be some kind of stakes.
Okay.
We will think on that.
Okay.
But Twitter polls came back. We had, thank fucking God, Breath of the Wild at 0%. Now, I'm not saying that my tweet going out saying that I would cancel the fucking podcast if any of you fuckers voted for that had anything to do with that outcome. Maybe it did. I don't know. But that's how it went down. Another thing worth noting before we continue was that we actually had the most voter turnout so far. So, right on, guys.
All right. It's good.
17% of the votes went to Watch Dogs.
Okay.
So that's number 3. 33% went to Broforce, and 50% went to fucking Pokemon Channel. Fuck that game forever. Holy fuck.
Jesus.
Just like editing together that fucking video last time where with the Blaziken, I'm gonna have to put it again with the Blaziken with that fucking card coming out of his crotch. You know, it really brings back pleasant memories from my childhood. Definitely non-homoerotic visions of this muscular chicken fire thing pulling a card out of its crotch. Definitely did not sway. We had quite the positive response to Crapalacia, so I feel vindicated. It was a project where I was sitting on it for a while, and just one day I was just like, fuck it. Like, I thought it was going to be a piece of shit. People like it. Fuck it. I'm going to keep making fucking music for this thing. If it turns out shit, who gives a fuck? Fuck all of you. But not actually. Please stay around. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. PorkChopper, let's start this off right. Can you give me the rough numbers as to how many copies Smash Ultimate sold?
The numbers that I saw yesterday, I think it's over 12 million.
12 million. Now, how good are those numbers?
Okay, so to put this into perspective, so Spider-Man became... Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 became the fastest selling exclusive for this generation. And it sold something like, I think, 3 million copies, worldwide or some shit in like a few days. Smash Ultimate has now become the fastest selling exclusive on any platform in history.
Mm-hmm. Now let me tell you why it's the worst game ever.
Okay, what the fuck?
With numbers like those, you would fucking think that their online would work phenomenally.
Especially when we pay for it now.
We pay for it now.
Yeah.
Okay? I will never say that the gameplay of that game is fucking bad, because it's not. I have been a Smash fan since fucking forever, since the fucking day it came out. But if any other company did this shit, they would be fucking crucified. Imagine if Halo 3's online was just like, oh, fucking 50% of the games they don't fucking work. They're just laggy pieces of shit.
Yeah.
People would be fucking having riots. People would be constantly hitting up Microsoft saying, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Go fix your fucking servers, you asshole. I've seen fucking games on the 3DS run with a way better fucking netcode than this piece of shit.
Yeah, it's surprising too, because the online network and everything was far more developed on the Wii U, which was free. There was better online, I believe. Even the Wii had better online. Mm-hmm. Again, free on a fucking garbage console that was way fucking in the past. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense that the Switch in 2019 you can't fucking play online properly.
Even if you fucking take the time, you fucking purchase that dongle for an Ethernet cable, the asshole you're against probably still doesn't fucking have one.
Yep.
And your connection's still fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know what to fucking say. A fucking game with this many numbers just has a non-working feature. It's fucked. It's just absolutely fucked. Why the fuck are we letting Nintendo get away with this?
I don't know, because if you think about it, so PlayStation in the States, I think they charge, $50 or $60 a year. Xbox, I think, is also $50 or $60 a year. And they give away really big, expensive free games every month. Mm-hmm. On top of PlayStation just increased the cloud storage from 10 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes for everyone at no additional cost. They're spending way more money on their networks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're only charging us $20 for the online, but they're not really giving you much for it. You get some cloud storage, and that's about it. and you're paying $20, and the money is obviously not going towards a better network because the network's gotten worse.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we paying for?
I've played Monster Hunter Generations with online, and I've played Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate without online. And I can tell you for a fucking fact that I have had the same amount of fucking disconnects with this fucking service than without it. So, I don't know, Nintendo can just go fuck themselves. Honestly, like, if you're not gonna make it any better, why the fuck are you charging us for it?
Yeah.
The answer is profit. And my answer to that is actually go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It could be getting better, though.
How? So
there is actually a rumor. I guess this would technically be the news section. I might as well bring it now, since we're talking about this. There's a rumor that Nintendo has like a sort of tiered online coming. There's like another service for the online that's aimed towards like game enthusiasts. So what I'm wondering is if this $20 tier is just going to be like the base, and then they're going to add like maybe a more expensive, better option that will actually give us better online. Which would be shitty considering we'd have to pay more money. But if the online is actually going to get better with that.
I feel like it's still bullshit though. Because when you look at a game like Splatoon, like I can't remember having fucking online issues with that.
Yeah.
You know? But when we played fucking Mario Kart.
Oh my god.
For the Switch.
Remember when I was fucking trying to join you and it put me in someone else's game?
Like,
what the fuck?
How long did we fucking spend doing that?
Oh, like forever. It took forever just to get in the fucking game together.
So why in the fuck? Like, why are Nintendo letting their fucking... Like, you'd think with their first party titles, they'd have that shit on lock.
Yeah.
This is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. The fastest fucking selling game of all time.
Yeah.
And the online is... For the one fucking person out there who hasn't played Smash or heard of Smash, like, this is a fighting game. Mind you, it's a very player-friendly fighting game. It's very easy to get into rather than a Street Fighter.
That's true.
But anyone who plays Smash can tell you that any amount of lag for any of the moves is going to fuck you. Oh, yeah. So fucking bad. And when your games come down to, you know, who can kind of adapt to the fucking lag... the natural lag that your system has, your system is shit.
Yeah.
You just need to make it better. Nintendo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's why Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the worst fucking game ever.
The way I see it is, it's 2019. I can understand when we were having these online problems when Nintendo Switch Online was in the free beta.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they're charging, they need to step up their fucking game. It doesn't make sense. The Switch has been out for almost 2 years. And the online has not gotten any better at all. And we're paying money. There's just no excuse for that.
All right. PorkChopper, what's the worst game ever?
Duke Nukem Forever. I can tell by your face that you're not surprised.
I am not fucking surprised in the least.
Yeah.
Why am I picking up shit and throwing it?
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
Yeah, but after 12 years, it should be.
I can't say it's disappointing because I think everybody kind of went in knowing it was going to be shit because the game, I mean, they've restarted the game like 4 or 5 times on different engines, and then just because they were like, oh, well, this game's fucking shit, let's just redo it all over again. Switching console generation. I think it was in development for 13, 14 years. And what came out, it just didn't make sense because it wasn't really a Duke Nukem game. Duke Nukem back in the day, you could carry like fucking 20 different weapons and switch between them and, you know, all this shit. And like the action was just insane. The humor was not only funny, it was also relevant for the time.
Mm-hmm.
With Duke Nukem Forever, it was such a disjointed experience. And like the humor, a lot of it was old. You know, it's like a lot of the jokes where, you know, they came up with them as the 13, 14 years went on, and so many of it just, it wasn't relevant anymore. It wasn't funny. You know, the jokes were just way past their sell-by date. You know, and then having all the weapons, at least on console and PC at launch, you could only have 2 guns. And you had to fucking swap them out. And then Gearbox ended up releasing an update for PC where you could have 4, which is a little better, but like, it's not fucking Duke Nukem.
I think where the game fails for me is that it would constantly make fun of modern day shooters while still having modern day shooter tropes.
Yep.
Like, oh, I don't need a fucking health thing with regenerating health.
Duke, we've got your green power armor over here and ready to go.
Power armor is for pussies.
Well, okay. You want a gun instead?
But you fucking have regenerating health in this game.
Yep.
So, what?
Yeah, it didn't really make sense, honestly. It's like the game wasn't aware that it was committing a lot of the same crimes that it was complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
And just the level design in general, again, I think because of the 13 and 14 year development time, it was all over the place. You know, nothing really fit together. It's like they made all these things in separate little fucking, like, bubbles, and then they just tried to glue it all together in this massive pile of garbage. It just didn't flow. It wasn't fun. It wasn't really entertaining. It's entertaining in the sense that you have John St. John, the classic Duke Nukem voice. And I think given what he had to work with, he did a decent job. But everything about that game should have been better. Was there even multiplayer in that game?
Yeah, there was multiplayer in that fucking game. And
I don't even remember it. I guess it must not have been very good.
Yeah, I didn't play it personally, but I remember looking at gameplay of it, and it kind of reminded me of Doom's multiplayer, where it seemed so tacked on, but this looked like it had multiplayer from like a fucking PS2 game.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it was on PS2 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've even thought about this game, honestly.
Yeah, looking back, very few games that have been in development that long, that have gone through so many iterations and engines and, and console generations, very few of them have ended up being good. How long was Kingdom Hearts actually in development for?
3?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, probably not as long as you'd think, because the team that did that would also do like a shit ton of games in between.
That's true.
So, I think it was around the time of Dream Drop Distance, which was a 3DS game which came out...
3DS has been out for 6 years?
Yeah.
Came out in 2012? Or no, 11. 7 years?
Yeah, definitely like at least a couple years after the 3DS came out.
Okay.
I believe it was around then when it's like, yeah, we're fucking working on Kingdom Hearts 3 finally.
It's about 5 years. That's not that long, actually. That's not that bad. But like you look at...
I could be wrong, but that's as far as I know. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, like, for example, Final Fantasy 15, which...
Holy fuck.
See, the thing about Final Fantasy 15, though, is the reason that it's bad is not even... It's not even that it was in development for a long time. The problem was because... Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this up when I talk about my next game. I'll come back to that.
We have plenty of time. We have the rest of our show's length to talk about Final Fantasy fucking 15. It's only... Yeah. It's a matter of who brings it up first, and if I actually decide to fucking play it.
That's actually not the game I'm bringing up.
I figured.
But that game is sort of connected in a very important way, so I'll talk about that later. But anyway, yeah, Duke Nukem just... I can't say it's disappointing because I wasn't surprised, but considering the foundation that they had with Duke Nukem 3D, the length of time that they had to make this game, and just how much fucking money was poured into this game, it's unbelievable how fucking garbage it was. Because, like, you had these great 90s ideas, like, for level design and shit, to throw all that out the window and go for the bare minimum of modern shooters, and it's just, like, I remember George Broussard, who created Duke Nukem, someone asked him, for example, they asked him, why did you stick with the 2-gun setup instead of letting players carry everything? And his excuse was, well, that's the standard of the time. The standard. I'm not fucking looking for the standard. I'm looking for a good fucking game.
We're looking for a fucking throwback, clearly. If every other fucking part of your game is a throwback, then why the fuck isn't the gameplay?
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that was their answer for so many mistakes, was that's the standard. That's what average game has these days. You're not looking for average. It's supposed to be a good fucking game, not just, oh yeah, we'll do this because a bunch of other games do it. Fuck it, just put it in there. Yeah. It's such a bad idea.
If fucking anyone out there is thinking of fucking playing this game, go play fucking Doom instead. Doom feels like everything that game was supposed to be. It's a fucking revival of an old franchise. It's got, like, everything that made it good.
Yeah.
It's got the fucking level design. It's got the fucking badass weapons. It keeps the fucking spirit of what made those old Doom games great.
Yeah.
Go fucking play Doom, man. Holy fuck. Don't fucking touch this game.
You know what's funny is around the time that Duke Nukem Forever came out...
You talking about Doom 3?
No, not Doom 3.
Okay, sorry.
Around the time that Duke Nukem Forever came out, another shooter came out that, even though it committed a lot of the same crimes of modern games and had a lot of modern tropes, it was actually a better Duke Nukem game than Duke Nukem Forever. And that's Bulletstorm.
Oh!
That game... As annoyed as I was with some of the modern ideas, that was just fun. And it was fucking hilarious. That's what Duke Nukem Forever fucking should have been, but it wasn't. It just didn't make sense.
I mean, at this point, Bulletstorm basically is a Duke Nukem game. Because Duke Nukem's a fucking character in it.
Oh yeah, the full clip edition, right?
Yeah.
You can play as fucking Duke Nukem.
How about that? Go play Bulletstorm instead.
Yeah, that was actually a fucking good game. I hope that gets a sequel. But anyway, so yeah, Duke Nukem. Bad game. If you see it, you're going to see it on sale for probably like under $5 on Steam. If you really, really want to play it, okay, but I would just say fucking put another, $5 in, buy another shooter. Like Bulletstorm or something. Fuck it. Buy fucking Duke Nukem 3D, okay? You can get that shit for cheap now.
Yeah, what?
Fuck, that's
2
better.
cents? Like, what is it? 2 cents nowadays?
Well, dude, they sell a remastered edition on PC that has like all the expansion and everything. Just fucking buy that. I think that goes regularly on sale for like $5 or $10. Don't buy Duke Nukem Forever. Anyway, Kaz, what is the worst game ever?
The mark of a great racing game is how much people want to break that time trial. Everyone wants to try and have a shot at fucking getting their time on the board, beating the top guy, fucking going for it.
Okay.
That is what, in my opinion, makes the best kinds of racing games. When you look at Mario Kart 64 speedruns, it's all about like finding these exploits and getting that score that somebody out there is going to eventually beat. It's just going to, but that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I think what makes a lasting racing game. Garfield Kart.
Oh my god, I fucking remember this shit.
It's a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's a meme game.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to fucking buy it for each other because it's always like a fucking $1 on the Steam sale. Every fucking year, some cunt on my fucking friends list gives me a copy of Garfield Kart, and I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not fucking playing this game.
That's fucking awesome.
And you know what?
What?
I still haven't to this day.
You haven't played it?
And when you go to speedrun.com, there's actually like 10 fucking slots for each fucking track of Garfield's Kart. I'm not fucking with you. There's people dedicated to getting the fucking top spot in Garfield Kart.
What the fuck?
In this fucking shitty meme game. But you know what, PorkChopper?
What?
There is a fucking game that has less spots than fucking Garfield Kart.
What?
And that game is Pokemon Dash.
The fuck is
A
Pokemon?
Pokemon racing game
What?
for the DS that everyone forgot about.
I've never heard of it.
It's lost to time, and I'm here to fucking remind you all that this fucking exists.
Okay.
It has, and I'm pretty sure last I checked, it was like 2 slots for each of its courses. Nobody wants to fucking play this game.
Holy shit.
Nobody does. Let's start off with the basics. Pokemon Dash came out around the time when the DS had the Nintendo DS, not the 3DS, just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So that Pokemon wanted to throw their fucking hat in the ring as fast as humanly possible. Fuck an actual Pokemon game. These motherfuckers will buy it, just like they bought Pokemon Channel. And they were right. But fuck them anyway. Pokemon Dash is a game where you have a little Pikachu. So think if you will of like a little sprite on the GBA, right? Mm-hmm. It's like overhead.
Yeah.
In like these old ass Pokemon games. Mm-hmm. It's overhead and you move left, right, whatever.
Yeah.
Think about that, but your sprite is Pikachu. And instead of like moving around in like a normal way with like left, right, and up. You need to physically take your stylus and fucking go like scrape in the fucking direction you want to go.
Like a fucking skateboard or some shit?
Yes.
What?
Constantly you need to keep doing this.
Oh my god.
Do you have any fucking idea what this does to your hand? It will fuck up your hand so bad within like half an hour of playing. As a kid getting this game, I had to take a fucking 2-hour break to even fucking get back to this game because of how much the first fucking course fucked up my hand by constantly having to scrape in one fucking direction.
Well, it's a good thing that touchscreen was so strong.
And that touchscreen, let me tell you, if you're using the fucking original DS, you better fucking believe it's gonna have so many fucking scratches on it.
Really? What the fuck?
Like, my touchscreen going into this game was immaculate. The only fucking thing I played on it were Game Boy games, because it just came out.
Yeah.
Game Boy games, and like Mario 64 DS.
Okay.
And like, even then, like, it had mini games where you could like use the stylus.
Yeah.
And like a really shitty movement option. Doesn't matter. But it was immaculate. My fucking screen after this looked like a fucking toddler chewed the fucking screen. It was a fucking mess. And and it was a mess that I kept having to do because I wanted to fucking beat this game. So other than the fucking control scheme, which is just ass, it is just a bad racing game.
Okay. Because
the problem is, it is very fucking awful at telling you where you need to go. Essentially, you're racing against other Pokemon, your Pikachu. Of course, you don't get to pick which Pokemon you are. You're fucking scraping to move in any general direction. If you go off the track, you have to scrape even fucking harder to get back on, because you're... like... I wish we had video of me right now, but like, this motion of like constantly... like, imagine doing a fucking scratch card, constantly scraping like that. That's your fucking DS. That's what you're doing to your DS, and you are fucking it up irreparably. Like,
I wonder how many of those DSs either got replaced with a new DS or got sent in for repair and
I
charged
have
a
no
bunch of money.
fucking clue, man.
That's fucked.
So that's the gameplay. You need to get from place to place, and the thing is, the camera is so locked on Pikachu.
Yeah.
All you have to go on is a fucking arrow around Pikachu, which kind of like, it points in the direction the next marker is that you need to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a map on the top screen, but the map doesn't show any landmarks or any of the land. So what will happen is that there will be, like, you need to go up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a wall, like 2 screens ahead of you up, and you need to go around that wall. Well, this map doesn't fucking show you that there's a wall. You just need to keep fucking doing the course over and over until you get a fucking mental image of where all the fucking walls are, where you need to go, and otherwise you're fucked.
Holy shit.
It is a fucking mess.
That's bad.
It's really fucking bad at telling you where to go. It's a really fucking bad racing game with some of the worst controls I've ever seen. What else could go wrong? Well, let's see here. Of course, if you want to play with friends, there's no download play. They have to own a copy of this piece of shit game.
That's good.
So you can actually go fuck yourself. I'm pretty sure Mario 64 DS was the first DS game to like come out. Like, it was a launch title.
Yeah.
Even that had fucking download play. But you can go fuck yourself if you think you're gonna play with any more than one fucking friend. I'm pretty sure it's only 2 people. Not that I could ever find another person to buy this fucking godforsaken game.
I was about to say, you're never gonna play with somebody.
Yeah. You know what? If you want a fucking hand injury or like carpal tunnel as soon as possible, go ahead and buy this fucking game. If you can fucking find it anywhere. Otherwise, if you don't like torturing yourself, stay fucking clear from this game. That's my best advice for everyone out there. You know what? I need to look this up, but I'm like 80% sure it's made by the same fucking chuckle nuts that made Pokemon Channel. Just this company that like Nintendo gives the go, or like fucking Game Freak gives the go ahead. Oh yeah, take our fucking brand, make these fucking god-awful Pokemon games. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Sell that shit for a full price. Basically, all the gameplay is like you fucking replaying the same shit because you can't beat it. Like, it's not that long. If you actually, like, know all the courses in your mind, because you have to, because the fucking map is useless, then you could probably beat it in, like, 2 hours. But it's because the map is useless, and you're going to keep losing, and you're going to have... And, of course, what elongates gameplay is the fact that you actually physically need to take a fucking break for this game, so that you don't fucking give yourself permanent arthritis or some shit. Yeah, it's a giant fucking piece of shit, and I think I paid I didn't pay for it, but it was like a $50 game when it came out.
Holy fuck. That's, wow.
Canadian with tax.
Yeah.
For DS games.
That's still bad for a piece of shit.
So, fucking Pokemon Dash, and I know it's kind of hard to, understand what I'm talking about. I will have a fucking video up for every single game that I show. But this game, trust me, if it looks even remotely fun, it is lying to you. It is a huge fucking piece of shit. Don't fucking play it. PorkChopper, what's the worst game ever?
The worst game ever is Final Fantasy 13. Imagine waiting for years for a new Final Fantasy game, right? I don't remember how many years between 12 and 13. I don't really fucking care. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you waited for years, right? And a new Final Fantasy, it's always like this fucking big event because it's usually, for the most part, it's a really good series, right? And then this fucking game comes out. Now, keep in mind, Final Fantasy 12 had like these really large open areas. It was really unusual for a Final Fantasy. It wasn't exactly open world, but it was like open sort of level where you had these big fucking levels you could kind of go around, and it was cool. I didn't like the sort of MMO style combat shit. I thought that was kind of shitty. But the open levels were cool. But even in older Final Fantasies, while they were still mostly linear games, you had larger, open areas that you could, navigate. The first 6.5 hours of Final Fantasy 13 are literally walking in a straight fucking line through what is essentially hallways. And if you're thinking, well, it probably gets better after that 6.5 hours. No, it fucking does. And then you just, you might take a left turn or right turn or some shit, do a little fucking 360. It's still fucking linear in these tiny fucking levels in this fucking game that people waited for. What the fuck?
Are you saying that Lightning isn't the best character you've ever played as?
Lightning can go fuck herself.
But PorkChopper, she's like a Louis Vuitton model.
She has the personality of a fucking bag of hammers, okay? Come on. Dude, she had this, really, rough, gravely voice, she was this fucking badass out of, an 80s action movie, and her personality was just so flat. She's like, oh, I'm fucking mad, I don't know why, fuck everybody, fuck you, let's go fucking kill shit.
That it?
You sure better hope so. But whether we're square, that's up to Sarah.
You sound exactly like Snow. And he didn't hit me.
What? Where's the character development? Where's the character arc? Yeah, she's trying to save her sister. I don't give a fuck. I hate this fucking bitch.
But, PorkChopper, surely the character doesn't suck if they made an entire game about her.
You think you know how she feels?
If I leave her, then I'll never know. We'll be fine. I can handle anything they throw at us. No one will die. I'll protect Sarah. And Cocoon.
Does she look protected to you?
I can save her!
What can you possibly do?
Not only did they make an entire game out of her, this fucking travesty that is Final Fantasy 13, they gave it not one, but 2 sequels. 2 sequels. And not only was it everybody fucking trashed this game online, people fucking hated it. It got torn apart. And then Square Enix was like, yeah, everybody loves it. Let's make another one. And then they changed it up, and it got a little better with Final Fantasy 13-2, apparently. I didn't play it, because why the fuck would I? I hated the first one.
Absolutely.
Apparently it got better. And then people were like, yeah, it's better, but, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a fucking pig. Why am I playing this shit? And then they're like, oh, see, they fucking love it. Let's make a third one. Then they made fucking Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, which wasn't really Final Fantasy. You, fucking jump around and do, parkour and all this random shit. What the fuck was that?
Let's keep it down to one game.
Okay. All right. Not this
two more games for us to bring in.
All right.
PorkChopper.
Final Fantasy 13. So not only was it linear, another big part of Final Fantasy is the soundtrack. Okay, it had this really sort of classic style orchestral soundtrack, and they would sometimes reuse songs from game to game, but they would always kind of rearrange it and make it into a new song. And Final Fantasy 13, from what I understand, Nobuo Uematsu, he didn't do the soundtrack, did he? And it was this fucking electronic shit that as soon as I started playing the game, I was thinking this is not Final Fantasy. What the fuck am I playing, right? There is an argument to be made that because the game is in this sort of almost Matrix-y style, sci-fi world, that the electronic music was a good idea. And maybe it could have been if the actual electronic music was good, but it was fucking trash. And that really killed it, because RPGs, a big part of them is the soundtrack. People fucking love RPG soundtracks. Not this shit.
I mean, I will say that the fucking battle music is actually kind of cool. Have you not fucking heard Blinded by Light, bro?
Fuck you.
Dude, I'm not even fucking with you. The only good part about that fucking game is the battle music.
Okay. Battle music's good. Everything else is fucking shit.
I think you forgot.
I probably forgot. To be completely honest.
Fair enough.
Not at any point in this game did I play through it and was like, yeah, this is a really good fucking song. That never occurred to me, okay? What else? Oh, so then back to the sort of linear level design. At one point, the game actually does really open up. I forget the name of this place. Was it Grand Pulse? Great Plains? Fuck, I don't know. Starts with a G. But it's this big open, these sort of fielded areas. And the game actually started to feel a lot better at this point. Problem is that was right near the end of the game. So you go through hours upon hours and hours of this fucking linear garbage trek. And then you finally get to the good part of the game. It's like, yeah, we're done now. Go fuck yourself. Oh, the combat. Okay.
Yeah. I played about 1 hour of Final Fantasy 13, and I said, not fucking for me.
Yeah. I remember when it came out, they had said that, you can still play it in a traditional Final Fantasy style. No, you can't. Okay?
I've played through literally every single Final Fantasy, and I can't fucking tell you any style that this is even a little bit reminiscent of.
Yeah. It's like they wanted to mix turn-based and the real-time stuff. I don't know why they did it the way they did, but it was fucking garbage. And to be completely honest, while you could have some kind of strategy, a lot of times it was just easier and more effective to hit auto attack and basically let the game fucking play for you. And you just sit back and do nothing. It was just really fucking disappointing. For a game or a series that sort of built itself up on the idea of not being strategy RPGs, but adding the sort of strategy to the combat and how you sort of pace it and how you progress yourself and planning ahead. None of that really existed in this game. And it was really disappointing. It's like they went for this sort of cinematic action kind of style with it, and it just didn't work. On top of the fucking story being convoluted.
But everyone loves Lightning. Doesn't that mean she's from a good game? Everyone loves her, PorkChopper. Everyone.
No.
Everyone loves Lightning.
You know what Lightning is? Lightning is actually Cloud. Have you ever seen that picture?
No.
Somebody actually took the face of Lightning and the face of Cloud, put them on each other, and then changed the transparency.
Oh, fuck.
It's literally Cloud's face, but it's basically the fucking drag the drag queen Cloud with this fucking like pinky hair. Okay, that's fucking Lightning. It's the same person.
Now that's a fucking feature that should be in the new Final Fantasy VII remake. I want to play the whole game. The whole fucking game is drag queen Cloud.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! It's gonna be out in like what 35 or something.
Yeah, 2050. I'd say.
I mean, you want to be progressive. That's how you do it. Let me fucking choose my panties and all that shit.
Absolutely.
Let me fucking dress up as a drag queen.
Progressive Narius will have a word with you after the show.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. This game was just a big fucking disappointment. After so many years waiting for a new Final Fantasy and getting this, and it's just nothing about it is really Final Fantasy. Oh, and I was talking about the story. The story's so fucking convoluted. Okay, it got to the point where I was literally looking up online to figure out who the fuck they're talking about. Because there's like the Le C.
And the Foul C.
And the Foul C. And all these fucking C's. And I can't, for the life of me, fucking pay attention to this goddamn story. Because I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. I don't know who the fucking bad guy is. Or who the good guy. I know he's got fucking C in there somewhere. That's all I remember. Like, it's so fucking weird. And, Square Enix has this sort of penchant for using these stupid fucking names. Because they don't want to just use fucking English. So like, they come up with these weird like languages. And it just doesn't work. Fucking confused the hell out of me. I got a headache fucking watching some of those scenes.
Those scenes?
Yeah, fucking see. Jesus Christ.
I don't take orders from Foul C. How I live is up to me. You became a lessee, so now you're gonna marry this idiot? And you think I'm gonna buy that? Full points for originality. But don't forget, if you really are a lessee, it's my job to deal with you. Sis. This is ridiculous. Worst birthday ever. You kidding me? She gets made a lessee and you pop the question?
Lightning, stop it!
No, you stop it! Get out of my house.
I said I was going to bring this up later on the podcast. It was for this game.
Sure.
I was bringing up Final Fantasy 15. So what I was going to talk about is how Final Fantasy 15, I don't think it was a bad game, but I think it was heavily flawed. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons is this Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. Because Final Fantasy 13, I believe, had like a kind of troubled development. And because they wanted to get it out the door faster, they took everyone off of Final Fantasy Versus 13 to work on this game. And then they decided to make 13 too. So everybody who had been back on fucking Versus 13 for like 6 months got pulled off again to help finish 13 too. And then fucking the third game of the series. And then when they fucking completely botched Final Fantasy 14 the first time, they took every developer off of fucking every other game and completely rebuilt that entire MMO in a year. So all the years that game was in development before it became Final Fantasy 15.
They had their fucking hands in every other pot.
Yeah, they were barely working on the game. So Square Enix basically, what they did was tell Tetsuya Nomura to go fuck himself. And they gave the game to Tabata, right?
I wonder if the dildo they told him to go fuck himself with had zippers on it.
You never know, dude. Probably if he designed it. But it's like they put all the blame on him for this game not coming out after this many fucking years. So they give it to this other guy who clearly didn't care about quality. He just took all the pieces of that was this fucking shambles of a game and just slapped it together. He didn't give a shit if it was good or not. He didn't care about patching up the story. He fucking threw it together and was like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to release it. And he wanted to leave his mark. So he took a lot of features and a lot of story elements out of the game that Tetsuya Nomura came up with. So, and I think, actually, in Kingdom Hearts 3, Tetsuya Nomura actually, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't want to spoil Kingdom Hearts 3. Because I think it's a fucking fantastic joke.
Okay.
It's great. I was going to bring it up, but all you motherfuckers need to play Kingdom Hearts 3 to know about what happened to Versus 13.
Okay, so I won't talk about it, but essentially Tetsuya Nomura's a little fucking salty about that Final Fantasy Versus 13 situation.
Just a little bit.
And rightfully so.
I think Final Fantasy has just taken a fucking weird ass nosedive after 12.
Yeah, although I think it actually started with 12.
Yeah.
Because, 12 wasn't a bad game. it was good, but like the combat was really fucking weird.
Weird, and when you compare it to 10, which is clearly a masterpiece, like from the music and like the world and the fucking characters, like all of it coming together, like 10 is clearly a masterpiece, 9 clearly a masterpiece, 8 a flawed masterpiece.
Okay.
You go down that whole list of 1 to 10.
They're all amazing.
Aside from 2, they're all amazing.
Yeah, I think with 12, my issue with it, as far as story goes, was I think it was like 6 months to a year or something before the game came out. They changed the main character.
Yeah,
because Balthier was the main character, and then they thought, well, Balthier's like what 22 or 26 or something. Oh, he's too old.
He doesn't appeal.
Teenagers.
He doesn't appeal to the demographic that we want to appeal to.
Yeah, so they came up with what was his name, Vaughn.
Vaughn,
who was a fucking annoying little kid. I fucking hated that kid throughout that whole game.
I remember watching my friend play that game and seeing Vaughn, because I never saw. I always played Dissidia, but I didn't know what Vaughn was all about. And I saw Vaughn, and he was like being the character, like the fucking comic relief, and I'm like, that's fucking weird that the main character is the comic relief.
Yeah,
like what?
And it's weird because like the whole time I played through that game, before I knew that Balthier was supposed to be the main character, I always thought he's way more fucking developed. It seems like why was he not the main character? And then sure enough, he literally fucking was.
Anyway, we're going on a bit of a tangent here unrelated to 13.
All right, that's fair.
Let's kind of wrap this up. Do you have any other news you can think of?
At this point, the Nintendo Switch, I think they had sold 32, almost 33 million consoles.
Right on.
I think that's as of the end of their last quarter. To put that in perspective, the Xbox One right now is about at 41 million after over 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
And the Switch is under 2. And probably by the end of the summer, the Switch is gonna meet or surpass the Xbox One, which is
and around
unfucking believable.
At around that time, we'll probably have to pay more, and our internet's gonna be way shittier.
Yeah, probably. Actually, that reminds me. So there's a rumor that there's a new Switch model coming out this year. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be the Switch Pro, like a really powerful version. It's not, apparently, and that's not surprising because I think if they're going to do more power, they'd want to make the jump to 4K, and the mobile hardware is not there for 4K just yet, so it's kind of pointless. So what this would be is basically a Switch Mini or a Switch Lite, and it's a smaller Switch that might not have detachable Joy-Cons, although I think that would be dumb, but the Joy-Cons are already really small, so I think it's kind of pointless to have them detachable.
Yeah.
But basically the idea would be a much smaller Switch that has smaller bezels around the screen so you can still have a larger display area, and it would be more rugged for kids. So you could get that price down from $300 US down to $200, have no dock, but it would still have the capability to be put in a normal Switch dock and then sync other controllers so you can still do TV play if you want to, which would be good for households that already have a Switch, and then you buy one for your kids at a cheaper price, and they can still play mostly the same games. So that's rumored for this year. We've heard about it before, but it's a lot more concrete now. Even though Nintendo just said they're not thinking about a Switch successor yet, they didn't say they're not coming out with new hardware.
Meanwhile, these motherfuckers could be making millions of dollars by releasing an N64 classic and are just choosing fucking not to.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm surprised that we didn't get it this past holiday. They brought back the NES classic.
It just kind of pisses me off. Like, they could have blown Sony right the fuck out of the water with that shit. With how fucking
PlayStation Classic. Yeah, I forgot about that. Everybody forgets about
Let's fucking talk about PlayStation Classic. Holy fuck.
Imagine paying $100 US, $130 Canadian, to get a fucking garbage list of games where there's only like 3 or 4 games you actually want to play, but it doesn't have analog sticks. The emulation is fucking trash. There's nothing good I can say about this fucking console. Every single aspect of this console was fucking botched.
But PorkChopper, it has
Ridge Racer! Remember that one?
Yeah, I'm sure Kaznarious is very fucking happy about that. I actually saw a comparison where someone ran a PlayStation emulator on the SNES Classic, And it ran the game was far better, far smoother than the PlayStation Classic, and the graphics actually looked smoother because it had a nice smoothing filter on it. And I've seen people that are like, well, I mean, that's using a modded emulator. You can't compare that. Well, here's the thing. With the PlayStation Classic, even though Sony had a working emulator for the PS2 and PS3, they were too fucking lazy to make a new one, so they literally used an open source emulator from PC that's flawless on PC, and it was fucking shit in the PlayStation Classic. So I absolutely can fucking bring up an SNES Classic emulating those games, because it does a better job for cheaper.
You know, it's fucking weird how I feel like the roles of these companies have changed so much in the public eye.
Yeah, it's weird.
Sony was never the underdog per se, but
they were always like ahead.
When Xbox was fucking around and saying, "Oh, your fucking friends can't borrow your friends," they were fucking memeing on them.
Yeah.
When Konami fucking shit-canned Kojima for reasons unknown, PlayStation was like, "Okay, we clearly understand your genius. We got you working on a project here."
Yeah,
making great decisions.
They work with Square Enix to bring back a Final Fantasy VII remake, Shenmue 3. They built up all this goodwill.
And where the fuck are we now?
So they're finally allowing crossplay with only 2 games. They're only allowing limited mod support for Bethesda games, not like on Xbox where you can literally mod anything you want. And they have a handful of games coming with nothing to announce so that they cancel PlayStation Experience and E3.
Are one of those 2 games for crossplay Fortnite?
Yeah. Fortnite was the first one. And then the second one was...
Alright, we're good. Podcast over. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Kaznarious.
And the PorkChopper.
Signing off.
Hello? Hi. So, you know that game, Doki Doki Literature Club, that came out in 2017? Well, I made you a song about it, and hold up. What's up with the acoustics in here? And what the frick is that smell? It smells like dead weeaboo dreams. Please play through the game before listening to this song.
Every day I imagine another guy spoiled on this game. You love it too, but to tell someone the ending is kind of lame. Doki subverts all expectations, despite the fact that it warns you at the start. But in its world that preys off your feelings, well, don't you think it's better to go in blind? Don't spoil your friends, just let them go play it blind. So cut it out with all the spoiling thumbnails for videos. Subtlety is a concept YouTubers clearly do not know. If your friend doesn't know about Doki, send them the link, tell them they just have to play. And when they're hanging out with Sayori, they'll hit your guts, but it's much better this way.
Well, don't you think that, Dan Salvato is counting on people to spoil the game and stream it because of the jump scare they get at the end? Why do you even care? It's like a 1-year-old game. Who cares anymore? I'll spoil whatever I want.
I know it's hard avoiding every spoiler when you're online. Even news spoil Doki Doki's on prime time.
Things do turn sinister with characters self-harming and killing themselves. It's said to be suitable for players aged 13 or over.
You want someone to love it like you do, so shut your mouth, let your friends play through the game. If someone were to spoil your ending, do you really think your playthrough would be the same? And when it comes to this game, if you truly want to love it, just leave it be.
Back again with over 11 subscribers. It's the worst game ever with your host Kaznarious and
the PorkChopper.
Motherfucker! Fucking shit! Fuck! Fucking dog!
Akira, you gotta fuck off and get out of here. Get out.